July's hidden history object is a set of 11 volumes entitled The Diplomatic Correspondence of the American Revolution. These volumes were edited by Jared Sparks between 1829 and 1830 and feature the letters of Benjamin Franklin, Silas Deane, John Adams, John Jay, Arthur Lee, William Lee, Ralph Izard, Francis Dana, William Carmichael, Henry Laurens, John Laurens, M. Dumas, and others, concerning the foreign relations of the United States during the whole Revolution. Included in the books are the letters in reply from the Secret Committee of Congress and the Secretary of Foreign Affairs. This set of beautifully bound volumes was originally owned by the Georgetown Library Society, which was founded on January 31, 1799. The society had 41 male members who paid a fee of $5 within the first 42 days of the group's establishment, and another $5 was due by the end of a 6-month period. If a member was unable to comply, then he would not be considered a member of the Library Society. There were officers elected by ballot, including a president, vice president, a secretary, a treasurer, and an 8-member committee of purchase and correspondence. This committee was given the task of securing newspapers from Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Richmond, Wilmington, Charleston, Savannah, Knoxville, Louisville, Kentucky, Columbia, and Georgetown's own newspaper, The Gazette. In addition to the newspapers, members were also given access to 2 weekly papers from London, one of which contained the weekly debates of Parliament, the London Magazine, and the Gazette of Leyden. Members could also access critical and monthly reviews, and many of these items still exist in the Georgetown County Library archives. Library societies were popular in the 18th and early 19th century America. The first was established by Benjamin Franklin in Philadelphia in 1731, and Charleston's first was in 1748. The societies were groups of like-minded men gathered together to jointly purchase expensive works that might otherwise have been too much for one person to buy. Georgetown at this period from 1800 to 1840 was thriving with new growth and civic pride. The town had already established the Winyah Indigo Society in the 1740s, as well as a volunteer firefighting company, an active Masonic lodge, a local branch of the Bank of South Carolina, and a new courthouse. New churches were incorporated at this time, including the Methodist, Baptist, and a Jewish congregation. Many books were published in Georgetown during these years. 4 newspapers were established, and a new school was created under the sponsorship of the Winyah Indigo Society. Georgetown was truly thriving at the turn of the 19th century. A room was rented in the home of Mr. John Bird, the newspaper editor, and suitable furniture like tables, chairs, and desks were provided. Mr. Bird was employed as the librarian at a sum of £30 per year. Books were allowed to be borrowed from the library for 10, 20, or 30 days, according to the size of the volume. Any book kept over that time was charged at a rate of 1 shilling per diem. The library was open every day from 2 p.m. until sunset, except for Sundays. The Georgetown Library Society ceased to exist by the early 1840s, and by 1859, a room was established in the newly constructed Winyah Indigo Society Hall on Prince Street. Ads were placed in the local papers appealing for the return of books belonging to the society. It is believed that there were as many as 1,000 to 5,000 books in the society's possession at one time. Eventually, the Library Society books were absorbed into the Winyah Indigo Society's collection. When the hall was used as a hospital for Union soldiers during the Civil War, many of the books and other items went missing. The remaining collection continued to be circulated until the early 1900s, and the collection was eventually transferred to the Georgetown County Library's care in the 1990s, once the new building was completed on Cleveland Street. Today, the collection is being carefully preserved, and many of the newspapers have now been digitized for the library's online collection. The story of Georgetown's earliest scholars will be available for all to enjoy.